my ex-wife.
Oh. We're on, by the way.
It was nice to see her.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Hey, we all have voices. Listen to me. You all have voices. I'm going to.
Goddamn frog.
Ribbit. I love the fact that everybody knew it.
That was the guy's face every time that frog did that. Dirty, rotten. I gotta put you in a damn oiler. Have me some frog legs for dinner. Singing or not, some bitch.
Just keep. That's downtown LA right now. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Here. That's Chad Bianco's page.
Wow. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it against the law to be waving another country's flag?
You can wave it all you want, but I think telling you how much you want to stay in this country, so we're going to destroy your country and wave foreign nations' flags, that does seem a mite awkward. That does seem a mite awkward. But again, let's do the math here. You can imagine they would not want the circumstance to end. California recently surpassed Japan as the fourth largest economy on Earth, if we were a nation. We're $72 billion in debt, in spite of having no Army, no Navy, no Air Force, no Marine Corps, no nuclear weapons, which is the most expensive thing nations do. So in spite of that, we're still $72 billion in the hole. Where's that money going? Of course they don't want it to end.
Yeah. Don't. Yeah, I see the phones are acting up again.
Oh, man. Who is the kid playing for AAA? Roman. They're calling him the Roman Empire. The Boston Red Sox, supposed to be the number one MLB prospect, just hit a 497 foot. So this is wood bat. Just hit a 497 foot grand slam. 497. And if I may, who's our home run leader in baseball right now?
Well, it was, yeah.
It ain't anymore. It's the new catcher for the Seattle Mariners, a guy by the name of Cal Raleigh. Mm-hmm. If you're not familiar with his act so far, I'm just loving this guy. I'm loving this guy. He looks like a pipe fitter's son.
Nice.
And apparently he can really hit.
Receive a free roof inspection and estimate. Plus, for a limited time, get 20% off all repairs. From simple patches to a whole new roof, Virtual Roofing offers serving the community since 1979. They're licensed and insured with the highest standards. Call today, mention AMX 70 for a free no obligation.
497 feet.
It gives you a whole new perspective of Mickey Mantle's 565 foot.
Right.
Yes. And the fact that I might be, ICE protesters are starting fires in California right after the Palisade fire and the and the Eaton fire. Yep, here's guys throwing gasoline. God, it'd be foolish if we didn't keep you around.
I mean, it's like these people don't even like being citizens of this country.
This Alberta thing is not going away. Alberta is seeking independence from Canada. They're basically the Wyoming, Montana, Idaho of Canada, and they're tired of the...
State 50A?
Oh,
the press. Let's do this.
Brought to you from behind the Iron Curtain on Radio Free California.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Gunslingers right here on
the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
That's
baby.
right, from San Diego to San Francisco, from LA to Phoenix to Vegas, avoiding some parts of LA.
Some parts.
This
Skipping
evening.
adroitly over them unwisely.
Yes, parts of the 10 freeway apparently are underwater. Yeah, or under something, anyway. Okay.
Martial law.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, you still have a voice.
I still have a voice. We,
Did you do anything interesting this weekend?
well, let's see. Saturday, I did an auction for 5 hours, and then today,
Had so much fun.
I did an auction for 5 hours.
What a time, though. Gee.
You know what? Had a blast. You know, the folks at the Highway 39
Event Center.
Hey,
right?
thank you. Event Center really went out of their way to make us feel at home this weekend. They served us breakfast and lunch.
Wow.
And drinks.
Yeah, and
folks.
drinks. Yesterday I kicked out $100 and sent it to the bar and said, you know, the first $100 is on me, so people could go up and get themselves a whatever.
A refreshment, let's say.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. We had it was an interesting weekend. Man,
You moved an awful lot of product.
we did,
And quickly.
We've got it down so well that we just zipped. I mean, we did. I think we were just under 600 lots total on yesterday.
Yeah.
And we were done at just about 2 minutes after 3, starting at 10. So
That's I recognize you've only been doing this for how many years now?
20, I don't know.
Something years. So you've definitely oiled the machine and honed the stucco off the rough edges, right?
Pretty much.
But good on
yeah.
you for doing it so smoothly. Good
Yeah.
time for the people there.
And today, and today was interesting because we've never done a 2-dayer, and so we were kind of interested to see how our audience was going to react because they've never done a 2-dayer with us
For them,
before.
first for us.
So that went quite well. It started off a little quiet, and I was like, oh boy, we're not getting it. But within the first, by lot 30, we had pretty much a full house again, just
People
like
had
yesterday.
to wake up. That was going on.
And it's Sunday. Some folks got to go to church.
Yeah, because
I was surrounded by guns and cars. I was pretty much.
You were in church.
on day one on Saturday we were. As soon as we opened those doors, we were packed to the gills.
Yeah.
And then Sunday, it started. Maybe it was the little gloom that was in the air and people coming back from
Could
church
be.
and all. But
Those are church hours.
But it really did pick up. It really got warm in there. The sound really carried. So it was really great. Thank you for everyone out there.
Yeah, it went real well. I just couldn't be happier. One of our biggest sellers, this was a gentleman that came all the way down from the Sacramento area, and he had about 300 lots in yesterday and today.
As a seller.
As a seller. And he came down, and, that's always a little nerve-wracking. It's kind of
Right. He wants to just see how this is all going for him.
It's kind of like giving a speech in front of your principal, and at the end of the day, he came up with a big old grin. He was happy as a clam.
That's what we love to see.
Yeah, and one of our biggest donators. What's the word?
Donors?
Well, consigners.
Okay.
He's a good friend and a very wealthy individual, and he had some high end stuff in this auction. And I called him on the way in today because all his stuff sold today, and wanted to check and see how he felt, and he was tickled pink.
Everyone did well. Buyers did well. The consigners did well. Everyone.
There was something for everybody, and even RJ.
Yeah, baby.
RJ got something.
There were good prices. There were some good deals to be had, and then there was just some crazy stuff that just went sky high.
Well, it was cause it's crazy that we had those items, and people knew exactly what they were looking for and exactly what they wanted. So the things that were really sought after, there were fights, and we love to see them.
Oh man!
Oh, when you get two guys or two gals that want the same thing, it's not just good for business. It's fun to watch, isn't it?
It really is, because it's like ping pong, bing, bang, bing. I tell you,
you're not going to let him walk away.
Boom, I tell you. All right, here we go. We got 500, now 5.5, now 6, now 6.5, now 7, 7, 7, 7, now 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 8, now 8.5, now 9, 9, 9, 950, 9,000. It just keeps
and it's
going.
It's like Vegas. You got all the people kind of crowding around, going, "Do it, go, go! Don't let it beat you, go!"
I'm floating around over there, just come on. Yeah, I love it. It drives me every time an auction breaks out.
We had the most sealed bids. We had about 250 sealed bids for this auction. We had a bunch of phone bids. The phone bids, I try and downplay people doing phone bids because they forget. It's just so much smarter to do a sealed bid than a phone bid, and because I'm like, I got it listed right here in my sheet, phone bidder, and I look up and nobody's on the phone, and Jimmy, what's going on? He doesn't answer.
Yeah. There's guys who don't answer, and then there's guys that'll
that's the snooze lose thing, man.
Update their list, and all of a sudden that one dropped off, and you're like, well, I would have loved to have an update before that happened.
Yeah.
But and then some of these guys. Shout out to Randy. Thank you so much, Randy. I don't know if you're going to hear this or not. So he had his list of what we had on our paperwork, and then he gave me an additional list of close to 15 to 21.
So he was bidding on about 60 items alone.
60.
And here's the best part. I think he only got like 2.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was part of it, was that he saw the pre-bids online. He's tracking it online. And he was like, well, I guess we're going to have to just cross this one.
We have a couple human barometers in our audience. And what these guys are I won't call them bottom feeders, but they like to pick up good deals. Let's just put it that way.
Fair enough. Everybody wants a deal.
When they leave pissed, I'm a happy dude. Because that means that
everybody got fair prices.
Yeah, and man, it just was absolutely amazing. Some of the prices we got on some of those Mausers. We had a couple of Mausers that we estimated valued them $300 to $500, and it went for $3,250.
Oh yeah,
the guy that wanted that was in the house.
At least 2 guys, because somebody had to get him there
for a Mauser.
Yep, for a Mauser.
So maybe the Mauser is hot again, and again, that helps you for the next time, because you're the best voice there is for how much is something worth.
Yeah,
because people pay what they think it's worth. You're not arbitrarily assigning numbers.
Correct.
They are.
Yeah, and it really is a true idea of what your stuff is worth. And we did talk about the 11%. I did bring it up yesterday, and because when we first started, it started off a little slow, which is normal because everybody's kind of settling in and they're kind of watching and seeing and checking out.
Yep.
And we got the first 10, 15 lots. We're like, yeesh,
what's going on?
Yeah,
guys?
and then so I brought it up. I go, it's the 11%, isn't it, guys?
And everyone.
Yeah, I mean, to a man, everybody in there said, yeah. And I go, well, elections have consequences.
Boy, oh boy.
Did you guys get out and vote? And about a quarter of them said yeah.
Yep. And kind of let everyone else know that, hey, that is a real thing. And this is
what happens.
Yeah. Yes. Well, if you're not part of the solution, you are the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as we can see, when people really got on it, they didn't need that liquid encouragement or anything like that. There were things that were there was some stuff that you got your deal and all that, but the things that even in the mid-level, people really knew what they were looking for, and they were willing to pay the price.
Well, that's the virtue of having your catalog up so people can kind of let their fingers dance through the internet
Yep.
and come there with an idea of what they want.
It's great.
Well, and speaking of dancing, let's get to Richard at the airport.
Hey now.
Seamless segue.
How are you, Richard?
Good evening, electronic gunslinger.
Thank you kindly. What's going on tonight?
Yeah, I want to know, how do they rank the best firearm operator? What name do they give them?
The best firearm
Best
operator?
we're talking in terms of competition, or are we still working for the joke answer?
No, for competition.
Well, you call him champ.
Right?
Hey there,
Oh,
John.
no. Well, wait, what about marksman?
Well, that's what they call me.
Oh,
Well, or the guys around you.
those are marksmen.
I've heard the term marksman and sharpshooter.
Yeah.
Which is the higher ranking?
Well, none of them really apply to actual competition shooting. So
It's both of those are complementary terms.
Yeah.
You'll love where the sharpshooter came from, though.
yeah, well, yeah.
The history of the term sharpshooter.
Company?
What's,
That's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
People that employed those precision target rifles were called sharps shooters, and because it had a reputation for accuracy, they became anyone who was a sharpshooter was a sharpshooter.
yeah.
Boom.
Okay, so that's it. All right, I was just wondering about that.
All right, give us your joke, Richard.
Okay, I'm really bummed out because I got my son a real nice 30-06, and in return he got me a T-shirt with a bullseye on the back.
Well,
Time to up that allowance there.
Yeah.
Richard, we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Richard. God bless
bet.
you.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right, when we get back, we get Rick from the CRPA. Hopefully we get him on the phone, and then the phone works and everything.
Yep.
Maybe some good
And
news.
other than that, you're listening to Gunslingers right here on...
The Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
And we'll be back right after this.
Sir.
Diane.
Hey, this is the new.
I know these guys.
Oh, that's right. This should be the new commercial. Number 13. That's gunslingerauctions.com. Again, gunslingerauctions.com. Well, the clock says it's time to close now. I guess I better go now. Welcome back, everybody, to Gunslingers right here on
The Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
And as promised, let's get to our friend Rick at the CRPA. How are you, Rick?
Great. How you guys doing?
Whew. Well, it's been a busy weekend.
It has,
right?
Yeah.
And thank
Sounds
you,
like it.
and thank you to you and your volunteers over at the auction this
Yep.
weekend. Table set up, everyone walking in. They were telling me that majority of the people walking are already CRPA members, and we thank all of you guys for joining up, and thank you and your crew for coming down and helping us out with that.
No,
It's really
anything we can do to support you guys, we would love to do that.
And vice versa.
That's good.
And you've had a bit of a busy week,
cool.
huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just a bit. It's been that way.
Yeah.
So a couple of things I was going to highlight to you guys. I mean, I know, Jeff, you and I have talked baseball before, and, the average Hall of Famer has a .303 batting average.
Okay.
And so that means basically, as we all know, that 30% of the time they hit the ball, so they get on base, which is, great. So using that, because a lot of times I get hit, like, how did you let this get across, that get across?
Right.
I'm just going to give you guys the breakdown. So normally this time of the year, like I said before, we can still be facing 30, 40 bills. This year we had 70 bills that were coming after our rights across the board. On the hunting and conservation side, we wiped it all out. Not one thing got passed to the second house. 100% batting average, which is
nice.
Thank you.
On the Second Amendment side of those 70 bills, we had narrowed them down to 16 by the time it came to appropriations, and now we're left with 6, which is a 900 batting average.
Hey.
Just saying. We're doing pretty damn good right now. And we still have a couple of our positive bills, which we've not had in 25 years, that are still in play and have moved to the Senate. So we're having a good year.
Love to hear it.
Brutal as it's been, it's still a pretty good year, and there's still a lot to be happy about. And we have some changes going on in government. Of course, state government's topsy-turvy, and we're taking advantage of that and pushing all the things that are good for firearms owners, and we're fighting with DOJ on multiple issues, including some stuff coming down towards the FFLs. And so all that's to say that thanks to all the volunteers, thanks to all the people that donate, thanks to all the people that become members, you are making a difference. And the scariest part of this is when tomorrow night I'm going to be talking to a group of people up in Upland, and I'm going to be telling them, look, with this small group of people that come together, it's like you and I've talked on this show, if we could even get 10% of those that own firearms in California, we could do almost 4 times the amount of damage that we're doing and by replacing our rights here in California. So to all of you who have joined and are taking part, God bless you. We appreciate you. But we really need to start getting people just jamming, because we're in a position to take things back.
Absolutely. Everyone that's kind of rolling with the CRP needs to be pushing forward instead of just rolling with it. We need to kind of be the weight behind the shields up ahead of us. So, yeah, I understand.
This is not the season for It's a Wonderful Life, but can you imagine what life would be like in this state without you guys?
No, man.
Without you, Rick? Honestly.
Well, we work very hard. That's very nice, but we don't get done alone. We have a lot of great people working with us, and we have an amazing team, and we have support. I mean, the things that you guys do, I don't think you guys always realize that you're having, working your rear ends off, and I know because I see some of the stuff that you guys do in the background that a lot of people don't see, but having people come in a state like California and going to an auction like yours, and it's not being held in the back of some brothel in a slum where you're trying to hide everything. It's out in the open, it's in their face, and it's organized, and it's calm, and it looks nothing like what the radical left does.
No.
And that is what gives a breath of fresh air, and it's starting to have an impact on some of the people in the middle in Sacramento, because they're like, you guys just aren't what I was told you were. And so they're at least listening. I'm not saying we've changed everybody's mind, but they're listening. They're open to talking to us, and we've had more conversations with people this year than we've ever had, and that's moving the needle. And so I'm always a big proponent of, if you're not moving the needle, you're not doing your job. And so I'm very happy with where people are at and what's going on. As far as the courts, actually had Chuck Michelle on the other radio show, and we discussed some of the things that are going on. So everybody's been talking about a couple of the cases, being both the Maryland case on assault weapons and the Rhode Island case on magazines not going through. We still have both our Rhodey and our Rupp and our Duncan cases. They are moving forward, and there's a good chance they're going to pick one of those up. They're more tightly written. Some things to realize is when certain cases get sent up to the Supreme Court, they have to go into order that they were filed, so those went forward. But they have not been tried multiple times up and down the circuit court with the victories that we've had. So there's a good chance we're going to take one or two of those cases and we'll get them across the line. So I know everybody was looking for something more to happen, but I think a little bit that's what Gorsuch was saying and Kavanaugh of like, hey, we're not saying no, we're saying it's going to come up the next session or two. And I think that's because they can see what's in the pipeline, and there's certain cases they want. And so we have strong indication that one or more of those are going to be ones that they're going to take, and we should get a favorable outcome.
Fingers crossed. Really quick, what happened with this stupid California bill, the Glock thing?
So right now, it's a great thing. As you guys know, because of a family medical issue, I will not be around next week. I'll still be on the show, but I won't be up in the Capitol next week, and that's okay because nothing's going on in the area of firearms. Probably we won't see another hit on the firearms until either last week of June or first week of July. We are asking everybody to go to the webpage. We have it up. We have the alerts ready to go, and then those will go live when we have the actual hearing dates. But right now, I send you my report, Jeff. We have no hearing dates for those bills yet. So that means they probably won't happen until the week of the 24th or the week of July 4th.
All right.
Does that include the action against the suppressor stuff that they've been going? I had a question online. If any movement had been on there, what's going on with the suppressor law, and if anything's changed since last time you commented on it?
I have a hard time hearing you. Sorry, Jimmy.
I'm sorry. It's probably me.
I can tell you which bills are still in play that we're fighting. There is a bill on firearms, and that's the 3 and 30. We're fighting that one. There is the Glock ban bill. That's 1127. We're fighting that. There's 1263, which is a ghost gun bill, which is opposing. And the reason we're opposing the ghost gun bill, beyond the fact that you have a right to build a firearm, is this is also going after any 3D printer or CNC machine. And everybody always jumps to the conclusion of Hollywood. But that's not what we're looking at. We're looking at the fact that also people are able to get hard-to-find parts because they can machine them and get those to replace firearms and keep them safe. And so outlining that is just beyond stupid and unconstitutional.
Yeah.
And then also there's the firearm to information and new owners. That's the one we've talked about before on the show where they're trying to push new people or people that inherit something when there's a death in the family, trying to hurt them and make them feel bad. And then also the firearm barrels. And, that the firearm barrels is a great bill for people to study, and that's Senate Bill 704, because literally the federal government does not allow the NICS system, which is the background check system, to do barrels. So how do you write a law that says we're going to use a system that the feds say you can't use? Like, that makes no sense.
Welcome to California.
Right.
Yeah.
Never look for logic. You know that.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Okay.
it's been a hard fought year. We've had to go after a lot of things that they tried to take away from us, and there's some things that we know they're going to come back around again and go after. For some reason, the left hates dogs. I haven't figured that one out, but we'll continue to fight to keep dogs, not just for people's personal use, but for hunting.
Anything that brings joy to anybody else is what
Right,
they
it's
hate.
got to go.
Or they can protect you for any reason.
Yeah.
Boy, how, you know what? I really liked your comparison. It's funny you make the point about how you see the auction and it's people having a good time. It's clean, it's safe, it's as legal as can possibly be. And this is those right-wing crazies. Then you look at what's taking place in downtown L.A. right now.
Yeah.
What a comparison, huh?
Yeah, and I think too. I was looking at one of the comments on your Facebook feed, and somebody's talking about the National Guard troops on L.A. being armed with AK-47s, according to Maxine Waters. Look, folks, you would not believe the three of the stupidest things I've heard this year was I heard that a SIG pistol was a machine gun.
Yeah.
No. And the person argued, no, that's what they carry in the battle to shoot hundreds of rounds a minute. Yes, no. I've heard countless times that AR-15s and M4s are AK-47s. They're the same thing, so Maxine's not the only nerd to say stupid stuff like that.
Yeah, not
and
by
I
a damn
also
sight.
got to listen to a lady talk to us again about how her hair, and this lady had really, 70s big hair, that a single strand was nicked by a .223 bullet fired from 15 feet away and spun her 200-pound-plus body 15 feet back into a wall.
The laws of physics broken again.
Turned her internals into jello.
Rick, we got to go. Anybody wants to join, donate their time or their money, how do they get a hold of you?
CRPA.org. If they have questions, contact at CRPA.org. And God bless everything you guys do.
Thank you, sir. Same to you. We'll talk to you next week.
care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, you're listening to Gunslingers, and now it's time for phone calls. Quick.
866-870-5752. Once again, 866-870-5752.
We'll be back after the news and right after this.
Yep.
20 years ago,
Yeah.
but not, especially not after this weekend. Yeah, that's my high note. 4 sets yesterday, 3 sets today, and 3 sets Friday night. So yeah, I got no high notes. I'm kind of vocally, I'm pitched kind of as a baritone. Then there's a bass, and then what's below that? My voice after this weekend. Yours too, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
The deep, calmly assured voice. All will be well.
I'm the guy in the stamps, the Elvis's way on down. It's that note that trembles in everything in the building. Yeah. What the hell, was that an earthquake or that guy singing again?
You know what? It's fun, and you should take a moment and make this point that for everybody, it's such a huge task putting on a 1,200 item 2-day auction, and everybody sees that, and then they all go home.
Yeah.
What are you doing tomorrow?
Oh, I'll be
Hitting it hard, man.
Oh, yeah.
Your work has just begun.
Yeah, the auction, as much work as it is that goes into the auction, is the easy part. It's the shipping. Well, for instance, we sold a gun yesterday. It was a beater old wall hanger piece of junk, and
Somebody still wanted it.
And just to try and get things moving along, I sold it for $20. You know, it was just real quick. Guy online bought it. And then he got his bill. Well, you know, I realized that this is an old wall hanger piece of junk that's missing half the parts, and you know, you're never going to make it work. But you bid on it, and you had, in order to bid on it, you have to agree to all the things. Well,
all the terms.
It cost just about $75 to $90 to ship.
Just to ship it,
and that's what he got charged. And he said, I didn't bid on this piece of crap, and your $90 shipping is not fair. Okay, wait a minute. What do you care if it's fair or not if you didn't bid on it? So obviously, he just didn't. But this is the kind of crap that we'll be getting in. Here's the funny part: proxy bid is a monster. It's huge. It's literally worldwide. People use it everywhere. And if you do something stupid like that, guess what happens to you?
You get dinged on proxy bid and
kicked out.
Yeah.
Get banned.
Yeah, you're banned from proxy bid. And they have that where they can, if you, any computer from your home.
If it's your IP and all, they'll track you.
they know you and they ding you, and you do not get to bid. So for a $20 bid and a $75 shipping thing, he's banned for life from proxy bids.
Why would you do that?
Doing business on the internet comes with a few pitfalls, and one of
Yeah.
Let me take you down to the riverbed. Got to tell you something, go right to your head. I got a line on you, babe. I got a line on you, babe. It's in the key of B. I still remember. Welcome back, everybody, to Gunslingers right here on
the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
We'll be getting to your phone calls. Give us a call. What's that number, Jimmy?
866-870-5752. Once again, that's 866 870-5752.
You know, we always do this, and we always ask. Let's hear from some folks that were at the auction this weekend. Give us a call. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you thought of the place, because I absolutely love
Highway 39 Event Center. Love you guys. Thank you so much. You guys let us know what you feel about it, how everything went.
it. Is such a cool place to be in.
And what did you get? And how happy are you with it?
Yeah.
Or how happy will you
So
be?
give us a call. What's that number again?
Again, you guys are going to want to call in at 866-870-5752. If anyone's jumped on my any of my social and stuff, I put a bunch of videos and pictures of all the cool stuff that's going on, the fluorescence, the signage, all the cars I'm walking
cars and
around
stuff,
there
yeah.
showing it.
Cushman motorcycles.
Oh man, I know Richard, our production guy that helps us out there, our tech guy there. He took a bunch of videos. I think we're putting some
There's
up
some
right
of them,
now.
yeah.
There's some of 'em.
And if you guys
look at
you
those.
take a glimpse of what they have there, and imagine having your gun auction go on at the same time in this same place, it is heaven. They
Nice way to
do
spend the
so
day.
so much.
And you know, the first half of this year has been pretty hectic. We've already had 4 auctions.
4 auctions halfway through the year.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we just hit the halfway point, and we've already had 4.
The
Now,
next one's years away,
oh,
right?
we can get back to saying it's on the whole other side of summer. You know, we're going to go through all of summer. It's not till we will see you in September. So, you know, you don't have to worry about it for a while. But I tell you what, we're almost full.
In September.
For September's just about done.
And
yeah.
we skip the summer months, folks. That's what's going on.
Well, people always ask, how come you don't do one in the summer? We've tried. And what happens is everybody's out of town.
And you're on vacation.
Yeah.
We don't want to bother you while you're on vacation.
And because you're on vacation, you don't have the extra money to spend. And because it's hot, number one, people don't like to shop when it's hot. Number two, you got to worry about paying your AC bill.
Yeah.
Boy, that's the truth,
Yeah.
especially in California.
Yeah, and so people don't want to spend money in the summer, so we don't do one in the summer. So we will be back September 13th. But let me tell you, if you got guns, you want to bring them in, get them in now.
Let's get on it.
Yeah, because we're just about full for September, and then we'll be done until December.
December.
Conversely, start going through your firearms cabinets and safes and going, you know what I really need? You know what this collection really, really needs? And start looking online for what Jeff's going to have to be selling.
In the summer, we're trying not to put you out literally and figuratively.
There you go. Now, we talked about the Colt Burgess. Remember this?
Yes, that's the lever action rifle that never went mainstream.
Yeah, it was kind of limited run, and we estimated valued this one $2,500 to $3,500. It was in good shape, but you know the way they did that loading gate, they had to cut into the wood, and so it's quite often that their piece will be gone, or it'll be at least this did have a crack in it, and we figured $2,500 to $3,500. Guess what it did? $6,500.
So doubled your estimate.
Yeah, doubled our estimate.
Wow.
So,
well, good.
Yeah.
And whoever got that, congratulations, because that's a keeper. What caliber was that one in? Remind me.
4440.
4440.
Yeah, 4440. We had some single action Colts that went crazy through the roof.
Those are always hot.
Yeah.
What the heck is it? Because I want a good one from that period. And man, I keep waiting for the market to cool off, and it keeps cooling up.
Yeah.
And I wanted to bring up Colts because Colts at this auction especially, you can see the difference of, say, the platform of the Colts. Some of them did surprisingly, not surprisingly, did well as what we thought, and then some you saw the fire kind of fall out on.
Oh man, we had a 1930 Colt 1911 commercial in 38 Super.
That's a rare bird.
It went for $5,500.
That's a premium over what the 45 would go for.
Yeah, I mean, holy cow!
Considerable.
The grips alone, on that.
Yeah, it didn't have stock grips. It had some kind of crazy
Let me guess, south of the border motif?
type. Yeah.
That's a fun story, and if you want to talk to us about why that is so, be glad to hold forth on it. But
Horseshoes
really,
and eagles
I'm
on
surprised.
there.
And it's still, even without the righteous grips on it, it still went for crazy money.
Oh, yeah.
And then we had a Colt real early national match in the box, in the
that's
original black box. It went for $6,000. So You know, people always say, "Oh, California, you know, we're afraid to do business there." And da 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 da. Well,
Apparently
guess
not.
what, folks. Yeah, you can be afraid, but we still get you killer dough. Let's get to our friend Farmer Tice out in Phoenix. How are you?
Hey, Farmer Tice, evening.
Better than most, not as good as some.
Of course.
What's going on?
Okay. Well, I took my son Armin to the range today to shoot that Mark IV again.
Mm-hmm.
And this time, last week, we had a few jams with it, but it was a brand new gun. This week, no jams whatsoever. Shot about 400 times.
Good.
Wonderful.
That's a pretty good load.
It's a great gun. He's having problems getting used to shooting it. And he shoots it 30 feet away. The target is about, it's less, I use an 8.5 sheet by 11 sheet of paper. And he gets most of his shots on the paper and it's towards the center. But, you know, he wants to be hitting more bullseye. I was thinking about getting him a Mantis X. The question I have is, they say that stuff, the Ruger Mark IV, is safe to dry fire. But
I would never ever. I'm not. I would not dry fire a 22.
When you know how a 22 works, get yourself some snap caps.
That's my rule. We've never dry fired it. Ruger says it's okay.
Sure they do.
Now, maybe now and again.
So
Wouldn't make it a habit, let's say.
First things first, the Mantis
I'm
is
still
really helpful.
reluctant.
Sorry.
I'm still very reluctant to ever dry fire it, so I think I'll just use that, get the Mantis and use it with another gun.
The Mantis is useful because it will track and tell you what the shooter is doing wrong. If you're too much trigger, too little trigger.
Right.
If you're jerking something, the Mantis does give you that
I
information.
hear your apprehension about that. I sold his other, his GSG pistol online a week ago, but the flake never paid me, so I didn't send the gun. That's the second time that's happened to me. So if I was in Wool, California, I would bring my guns right over to you to sell.
That would be a smart move. That'd be a smart move. Yeah, it's annoying out there, but
it's really
Jeff takes
hard
care of
to
all
sell
that.
Online. But we really like that Mark IV.
Good.
Shoots really well. It only takes about 5 minutes to clean. Easiest gun. And that's all I've got to say.
All right, very good. Thanks. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Farmer Tice. God bless.
Apparently, there's some kind of wind tunnel issue. That was a rough phone call.
Everyone on, and I don't know if I mentioned this before, but yes, we are on from up and down the state and into Nevada and Arizona, but we are all over the internet, folks. Our chats and our comment section over on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, and X are all alive right now. You should see everyone on Facebook right now. Letting Farmer Tice know, do not fire your rimfire. Do not dry fire your rimfire. But thank you guys all for being on there.
Do we
right
not
now.
have a call coming in? I show a call coming in. It's something else. Okay.
Yeah, and everyone's trying out their new ways to watch us. Mr. Enigma just set up his Roku. He couldn't comment on there, but he jumped back onto Rumble. Everyone in there, if you guys were at the auction today, put it down in the comments there. If you guys can't call in, put it in the comments. I want to let everyone know. And thank you. We got a whole bunch of people that are fans of the show that were at the auction, and
That's
it was
cool.
and it was great. Bruce, Brian, Janice, Doug was there.
Nice
Zach
to put faces to names,
and
isn't
it's
it?
so great. And they're just they love everything that goes on the show. You saw Brian and Janice and Bruce on the way out, and love them. They're so great, and we have, like I always like to say, we have the best audience on radio, on media, on all the internet. Thank you guys. You guys keep going, and everyone's shouting at Farmer Tice.
The only thing I don't understand, everybody's so nice, but they never like and share.
Our friends will. Let's put it out there one more time. If you guys are on the internet, or if you're jumping on right now, make sure you're hitting a like button. Make sure you're sharing this with your friends, and make sure you're subscribed so we can let you know every time we're coming on. Because there may be times where we'll put up some extra little bit of media for you. If we have something from maybe the event center, maybe we're doing something special with another radio show, we'll put more stuff up there, but we have to let you know so you can make sure that everyone else knows. Come on, guys. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry.
No, it needed to be said.
Absolutely.
You got to like and share. Otherwise, you're not in the Cool Kids Club.
Come on, it's free.
Man, oh man, I got my Cool Kids decoder ring the other day.
Right? Mine goes.
We put no premiums on the like button, so go ahead and just hit it. Come on, guys.
Yeah, you won't get contacted by anybody.
Yeah, anyone that was there though, we would love to hear a review of what you thought, because I'd love to hear that. And in the meantime, so what was your favorite thing that went or happened?
Really quick. A friend of mine he's from England, but he's living here now. When he grew up in England, his teacher gave him this. It's a little flare gun. It's an itty bitty little thing, and he had it for years and years. And he's almost 70 years old now, and his teacher died about 3 years ago. He went back to England for the funeral, and he slid the little thing into his coffin, and we had one brand new in the box.
Wow.
And I made sure. Yeah, I made sure, because other people were bidding. I go, no, he's getting it. And we got to sell it to him, and he was just beside himself. He was so happy that he ended up getting, because he the one that he had for 50 years is no longer
close to the heart.
Is back with his teacher, and now he's got a new one. And
that's real circle of life stuff. I love that story. That's a great story, buddy.
Thanks. It was really, and I know I pissed off a couple of people, but you know what? Too bad.
That was the right home. That was the right
get your own
home
auction.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, we've got an online hint that I have never used before. Eric says Home Depot has ever built 6 by 7/8 drywall anchors that make cheap 22 snap caps. Anybody else try that? I never have. Drywall anchors.
That makes sense.
As snap cap. But it kind of makes sense if they fit down the bore. They'll have that little plastic.
And if you get those little redheads, it could be really interesting.
Hey now.
Okay, I'm just throwing that out there. The collective wisdom of the internet here, boys.
You're listening to Gunslingers right here on
the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
And we'll be right back.
Yep.
Get down. It's a happy little tune.
Say huge one more time.
Huge. That's GunslingerAuctions.com.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty woman, walking down the street. Pretty woman, the kind I like to meet. Pretty woman, I don't believe you. You're not the truth. No one can look as good as you.
Mercy. Welcome back, everybody, to Gunslingers, right here on
the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
And again, this is a live show, and we take in live calls. What's that number, Jimmy?
Call in now, 866-870-5752. Once again, that's 866-870-5752.
And what were you going to say, Mark?
Oh, I was going to say I would just digging on Roy Orbison's voice. That guy's voice sounds like butterscotch on top of melted chocolate on top of cream that is just so good. And there you were matching
layered on suede.
My band is playing the Hop. Remember the Hop?
Oh yeah.
There was a whole bunch of them one time, and we were backstage, and this guy comes up and introduces himself as Roy Jr. And I'm like, get out of here. He actually got him to show me his ID, and it was Roy Jr. So here we are, and the guy who writes our set list is a wise guy, and
I know where this is going.
Yeah, we go out on stage, and there's a screen, the curtain, and so we start and. And curtain goes up, and now I have to do a Roy Orbison impersonation in front of Roy Orbison, who was sitting right in the front row. Oh, my teeth were sticking to the inside of my mouth.
Zero moisture left in my body.
And he never looked up. It was just so bad.
Talk about speaking in front of the principal. Yikes.
Man. Anyway,
Not good times.
No, it was pretty hairy. Anyway, let's get to James in West LA. How are you, James?
All right, I just wanted to give you some feedback on firearm I asked a question about. It was the Ruger LCP Max 380.
Mm-hmm.
I did purchase one.
Okay.
Took it to the range. 100% reliable. It was very accurate and very low recoil. So
good,
wonderful,
very
dear.
impressed with it.
Good.
Fantastic.
We appreciate that kind of feedback. Again, Ruger does not make very many mistakes.
No, and I know Mr. Murphy always says all kinds of jokes about 380, but there's so many versions of 380 ammo out there that you can get, plus P stuff, and just so many.
My metric
variations.
is if you think it's harmless, go stand in front of it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you made a great purchase.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome. I think it's a great gun at a great price.
But we love to hear calls like that, especially when something's recommended for you and all that, because it doesn't just we don't just like hearing it for ourselves. It helps the audience out there to really kind of get that recommendation down. Like, you can hear it from us, but you're a true blue component, and you used it yourself, and people love to hear the first.
And we want to provide factual information. So if you don't agree with us, or if it doesn't line up with our expectations 100%, that's all right. We still want to hear that. More information is better information.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very true.
This ain't like an American college campus.
Yeah. Wow. You mean an indoctrination center? Falls over the road.
They don't become doctors. They become indoctrinated.
Yeah.
College professor for 20 years, right here.
Yeah. Well, they're taught what to think now, not how to think.
That's the truth.
Anyway, I mean, you want proof? Go look at LA right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Liberal arts, my foot.
A liberal used to look at one side, look at the other side, and decide which is best. These are no longer liberals. These are dyed-in-the-wool Bolshevik.
One more time. You hold an auction for 2 days. These are the crazy right-wing people.
Yeah.
Everybody's well-behaved. Everybody's following the law. Everybody filed in, took their chairs, filed out. That's the crazy, wild-eyed right wing.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in downtown Los Angeles,
the people are
flames
standing on the 10 freeway,
throwing rocks,
burning cars.
Yeah. And that's the thing.
And we're not making this up. No. This is not hyperbole.
And that's the thing that come back to CRPA and Rick. Rick was saying that the perception, it's a lot of perception about how we are looked at as a community, and what we need to do is show who we really are. We are citizens. We care. We are out here, we're level-minded, and we have a voice. And that's what we need to do. We're not the fear-mongering, ultra-violent types that they want to say we are, that they're showing that they are. Let us be the protectors and not the aggravators, and that's what we have done. And so we need to continue this perception of who we really are and not who they're trying to tell us that we are.
Yeah, you know what? Let's get to Forrest in Long Beach. I think I know who this is.
Hey!
How are you, Forrest?
Big winner.
Oh, fine, thanks. I had a blast both days. Really enjoyed it. But what I wanted to call about was two things. You mentioned earlier Circle of Life, and you had a piece of jewelry there today. That the theme on that piece of jewelry was Circle of Life.
That's
They had a pearl, and then encircling that was a theme about the Circle of Life. So, you sell guns like crazy, but you also have jewelry and art and all of that.
Yep.
And the second thing I wanted to say was that wonderful venue is going to be having a Father's Day event where they're going to be serving, as I recall, prime rib.
Pistons and brunch.
So encouraging everybody to
Oh yeah,
go there.
I will be there. I'm
Pistons and prime rib. I like that.
Yeah. Next week at next Sunday at the Highway 39 Event Center, they are having a Father's Day show, and the wife and I are going to drive my '65 Malibu convertible.
Oh, yeah.
They've got trophies.
Oh man!
Yeah, Mike was showing me some of their like Pistons. They are so bitchin'. They get all kinds of stuff, and I don't. Yeah, there's my '65. I don't know if it's cool enough to get a trophy, but man, those trophies are badass, and we expect to have a lot of fun. It's going to be a crazy weekend.
Cool.
Saturday, we're going to the Pomona Father's Day Roadster Show, and they've got all the cool cars, but they also have a huge swap meet that is similar in size to the Long Beach swap meat that they do every couple of months. So yeah, that.
Are you looking for anything in particular, or just
68 Mustang parts?
That's what I thought.
Anyway, Forrest, anything in particular that you got that you were real happy about?
Everything in general. There was a. You know how there's a nylon 66 that loads from a tube in the buttstock.
Right.
There was, I think it was a 610 or something.
It's the Mohawk Model 10, I think.
Yeah.
The one that's magazine fed.
Yeah.
From a removable magazine.
Yeah.
And it even came with extra magazines.
Oh, that's the ticket there.
Yeah, very cool. Those magazines
are hard
and very expensive. Yeah. So I was glad to see you get that one. That's a cool gun. Well, thanks for calling in. And are you done? Did you get done with your paperwork today?
He was still working on it when I left.
Oof.
I don't remember what I paid for it, but I was happy with it. Just over the moon.
Good enough for me.
Love that.
Love it. Enough for me.
You're always a pleasure, and it's always great seeing you. Congratulations on all your wins.
All right, very good. Forrest, we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Take care now.
Yeah, Forrest is great.
Yeah, he always comes in. It's always so nice to see him, except that he always brings pies, and it's like,
that rat,
right? It's like, oh, great, here comes cookies. It's like, no,
darn, stop me. I'll tell you what, I'm going to make this offer to you because we've known each other for years, and I'm going to do this as a friend. Any extra pie, I will take off.
Oh, what a generous,
I know the word hero gets thrown around a lot these days.
He brings us all kind. Last time he brought us brownies, a pie, some kind of cookies. It's like, oh man,
damn! I want to get on Forrest's Christmas list.
Right?
That's very cool.
And he's just a great guy.
He's as sweet as he is in real life than the things he bakes and brings in, because he's just a joy. He told me he's had that beard since I think he said 78.
Wow.
So
that's like just like you. Oh,
when he saw me shaved, he was like,
"This is another one of these crazy gun nut guys." You just salt of the earth,
bringing around baked goods.
Yeah. Just
telling me how much he loves his grandchildren and how he wish he could share the energy that they all have. He's an amazing
This
man.
insanity must stop.
Right.
Yeah.
So
before it infects the rest of us.
Yeah. All right. Hey, you know what? We have some phone lines open. What's that number, Jimmy?
You guys are going to want to start calling in, especially for the second power.
Packed hour.
So you guys calling in to 866-870-5752. Again, 866-870-5752. Call in now.
Yeah.
And some things I wanted, because he touched on some things that we did. This is an event not just for the gentlemen and all that. It's for the ladies.
Right.
This is a family event, especially with the cars there. But with the jewelry, I love finding those wins for the jewelry that we had, and that the ladies that did receive some of those wins, they got rounds of applause because they really wanted it. They had some good battles going on for that stuff too. So
yeah, we did.
Thank you for all you guys participating in all that. That was
we
really
had. Oh, I'm trying to think of the one. It was yesterday. It was a long gun, and it battled. There were two guys that just wouldn't get off of it, and it went back and forth. It went for quite a bit of money.
That's what happens when two guys want.
Yeah, and now I'm drawing a blank. I'll figure it out.
Well, it's Antique Roadshow meets Christmas.
Yeah, kind of,
Oh,
sort of.
really is.
And that was going to be when I tried to do that TV show that everybody wanted me to be on. Just they didn't want me to do anything about guns, which was kind of the point here, Dick.
Could have gone into the jewelry. Look, an oyster necklace.
I literally had a guy tell me, "Can you do anything else?"
Bicycles, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Bicycles.
At the time, I said, "Well, I do own a pizza joint." No. Well.
I can auction clowns. How about that? What's the bid for that?
Anyway, hey, you're listening to Gunslingers right here on
The Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
and we'll be back right after this.
Yes.
Washes clean.
One to put her on the map.
Was
Her
when you're
version-
talking about the Hotchkiss, that Israeli one did really well.
What's that?
I'm wondering about the ones you were talking about the fight over. That Hotchkiss from yesterday.
That was it.
Okay, we'll bring that back up. But that Israeli semi-auto,
Oh,
that was
yeah.
a fun one. That one really good.
Yeah. Yeah, the Israeli one had several people going on
Yeah,
it.
that was,
What was
a
it?
fun one to go.
Like a Galil or
It was the Israeli hammer. It's a foul.
Hebrew hammer.
Hebrew
Hebrew
hammer,
hammer.
yeah. It was the foul with all the wood and the heavy barrel.
the heavy barrel one. Yep,
It was really cool.
that was their LMG.
And yeah, and man, I mean, it was like boom, boom, boom. I was just bouncing, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. It
Wow.
was just crazy going. It was that was a good one.
I know a guy that has one of those, and I will tell him, get you
Yeah.
another one. Get you another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did have a bunch of Mausers in there, and some of them.
There were a couple of Mausers that just went crazy.
The Verve.
Any particular reason? Caliber, provenance?
I have no idea.
Just people. Are Mausers hot now?
No, one was it had Cyrillic writing on it. I think we had it labeled as a Turkish Mauser. No
Cyrillic
idea why
is-
it went so crazy. But again, it takes more than one person to drive that price up. So
Yes.
apparently, a couple of people knew something
Knew
we
it.
didn't. Because we had it estimated like 200 to 400, and it went for like 3250.
Yeah, the Dutch one and the Verk went really well off the top.
And the Ross rifle went for a couple $1,000s.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Surprise. That's an odd fish, and you just don't see very many of them. And the kit that you had, I've never seen.
Yeah,
Pencils
with,
down.
with all the extra stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually ended up with two Ross rifles. One was U.S. marked, and one was a civilian version, and it brought like 15.
I was going to say that's got to have been pretty rare.
Yeah, that one brought like 15. We had a MG 34 that completely dewadded.
DWAT, of course.
And it brought crazy money, like $3,000, $3,500.
For a doorstop.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Just a great big old display. So,
Sweet centerpiece.
yeah.
How we got? Geez, it's the hour already. Well, that's good. I was going to say that Linda Ronstadt thing. Her version of "Tracks of My Tears" is one of my favorite songs ever recorded. And we've had the conversation about there are a couple of songs that are just perfect. We're musicians. We can listen and say, "Well, it should have a little more motion to the guitar, more bass." I'm like, that's one of that very, very small handful of songs. You go, that's perfect, man. Can you just imagine those people listening to the mixes going, "Oh dear God, we're going to sell a million of these."
She did long time on the Johnny Cash show in like
Yes.
1970, and put so much feeling into it. It almost hurts you to watch.
That's
yeah.
the recording that we know captures that, let alone seeing her doing it live. Man,
Yeah.
and that voice.
Yeah.
Really. That was a one in a bazillion.
Janice did a couple on the Cavett show. To Love Somebody just absolutely floors me every time I see it. She does a good recording of it, but when she's doing it live, it's just like, damn.
Once in a while, you see why people are stars.
Yeah. Yeah. She did Little Girl Blue on the Tom Jones show back late 60s. Same. Just like, wow. so much feeling she puts into it. It's just
That was her hallmark. She did not give you a 90% performance of anything.
It was 102.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Hello, the amigos. Hi, Robert. I like being somebody's amigo. I like that. Old Bark is back. Glad to hear that. The peaceful protest is dropping rock, street sign, and fireworks on police cars right now.
So peaceful.
Well, I'm glad to see that Newsom has flown into Los Angeles and taken charge. Is that right? Or is it crickets from the State House?
That bear was kind of fun to watch today too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, what did that go for?
I don't remember.
That's what I'm trying to find right now.
I think we actually passed that out.
Yeah, I remember it started hitting, but then we had something to go about.
Yeah.
Shanghai Municipal Police.
That was a cool one.
Yeah.
That was a cool one. What is that?
That's an emergency. Emergency test. Maybe there is an emergency now.
I may have brought some extra stuff in my car,
Maybe.
just in case. We'd have to get down to my car, but there we go, Bruce.
Trust.
I know I'd go from rags to riches if you would only say you care. And though my pocket may be empty, I'd be a millionaire. As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gunslinger. Welcome back, everybody, to Gunslingers right here on
The Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
You know how often I've done that funny how?
Funny how? Like a clown?
What am I here to amuse you? And I can't tell you how often people don't know
That
and like freak.
What are you talking
I'm like, whoa, relax. I'm just messing. Have you not seen the best movie ever?
Like,
Anyway, so yeah, welcome back to Gunslingers. By the way, today is the 8th.
yes.
That makes next weekend Father's Day.
Father's Day.
But you know what's the weekend after that? Motor Slingers Day. That's right, folks. In 2 weeks, we have the one, the only Leon the Motorman.
Motorman.
Right here in studio with his friend George. We will cover everything. If it purrs, hums, drives, moves people,
Goes bang.
goes
boom.
bang,
starts
flies
up
in the
and
air.
runs.
Yeah, or weed whacks.
Yeah.
My weed whacker at last.
We got you covered, folks. We looking forward to it.
Oh, it's
We're-
always a great show.
Yeah, we're going to have the one and only Leon the Motorman right here in studio.
2 hours of motor slingers, and we're talking about everything, folks.
Yep. After 43 years on the air, the one thing we always ask is when you call in and you want to ask him about your 74 Celica, make sure you tell him how much you appreciate him
Yes.
for being there for us for all those years. I mean,
43
decades.
years.
Yeah,
For 43 years, he
decades and
provided
decades.
that information.
So, yeah, make sure you guys say something nice about that before you ask him about your 79 Charger.
The cup holder is in my Prius.
I meant 69 Charger. Did I tell you I saw a 68 Charger the other day? And now I want one.
Oh,
So if
Expression.
only there were like an auction or something next week. Or,
Yeah, no, I got to watch my P's and Q's. It's summertime, but 60. I've got the 68. I'm building a bullet car. What is the bullet car, Chase?
Yep.
The 68 Charger.
Come on, now you got to have something to chase. But speaking about Leon and all that,
There it is, right there. Yeah.
He talks so well about all the people that listen to him for so long and all that. Show your appreciation, show your love for him, and thank him when you do get on there.
And, to be honest, the same folks that listen to him for all those years are the same kind of folks that listen to us.
Well, we adopted a lot of it.
We really did. We really did. So make sure you guys tune in 2 weeks to catch Leon and George right here in studio. All right, let's get to our friend Sean out in Covina. How are you, Sean?
Hey, evening, Sean.
I'm doing good, and greetings to the three amigos of the 2A.
Thank you, sir.
Love that, Sean.
And I'd like to do a little fun with guns. Before I like to do that, I would like to salute you. What a wonderful way to celebrate the liberation of Rome, June 4th, the Normandy landings, June 6th, on Omaha, Utah, Sword, and Juno Beach, by having a wonderful auction of freedom.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Very well said.
I appreciate
Absolutely.
Now, I have a little fun with guns here. Now, we all know that the U.S. used the 30-30 in World War I, but some people will be surprised to know that the French used it too. And I would like to do a little fun with guns with you with the 30-30 versus the Lebel. I'd like you to decide which one you'd want to go target shooting on the battlefield, and, of course, our standard one, shooting lions, tigers, and bears.
Well, now, do you mean 30-06, or are you still or 30-30?
No, the 30-30, Winchester 30-30.
Okay.
The French actually, there are pictures of the French with 30-30s, and this is we're going versus the Lebel, that 8mm monster.
8mm, yeah. Well, I mean, to me, there's
French bolt rifle.
Yeah. Why is it that they all? What was Norman Schwarzkopf's famous quote?
Going to war without the French is like going hunting,
bear hunting,
going without your accordion. That is a great shout out.
Yeah, so that kind of nails the whole thing. The French actually in World War I, we adopted a French machine gun called the Chouchou.
Yep.
Also known as the potato digger. It had that thing.
You're thinking of the Colt. The Colt was
am I confusing
the potato. The Chouchou had the big half moon.
That's right.
Tin magazine
with the
underneath,
slots on the side, so dirt could get in and clog it all up.
And it had the recoil tube right where your eye would go if you were right-handed.
Yeah, everything. And of course, French guns now sell so well because they've never been fired and only dropped once.
The classic.
If you're French and you would like to call, his name is Jeff.
Well, you've heard about the French flag. It's a white cross with a white background. And the French tank, of course, it has 4 gears. 3 go in reverse and 1 goes forward in case they attack from the rear.
Sean, are you going to stand up and defend the Char B?
Oh, well, I will throw that the U.S. also used the Hotchkiss.
Yes, we did.
Too, because we couldn't have enough regular heavy machine guns, so we had to use a Hotchkiss.
Yeah.
World War I, we kind of got caught with our trousers down. No question about that. So tell me about the French Contract 94s, because they bought those just before the First World War.
Well, they purchased a lot. A lot of them from my they used to defend airfields. And I'll tell you, if I had a choice between the Lebel and the 30-30, I'd throw the Lebel away and grab myself a good 30-30.
There you go.
Me too.
And since we know the answers to the rest, why don't we throw another fun with guns? We'll take the Mark III infield versus the 1917 infield in 30-06, and we'll do the same category.
I would still go. Well, are you talking about the M17?
Yes, the 1917.
Hands down, far and away, I would go with that. I tell you why. The Enfields are cool guns, but I can't stand that cocking on close.
Cock on close.
Yeah,
it enables you to shoot very rapidly, and after that,
Yeah, well, it starts to wear you out. You know, your
And
hands.
the Enfield, the Enfield has been used as a basis for calibers up to and including, I want to say, the 500.
Yeah.
So it's such a hell for strong action.
But it's
The Enfield. I'm talking about the M17.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
Yeah, because the Enfield is not that strong.
Yeah, the Enfield
and that weird two-piece.
Yeah, what I'm talking about, folks, is when you go to work the bolt on most bolt
Everybody
guns,
else in the world.
Yeah, when you flick it up and pull it back, that's what cocks it. Then you close it and it glides forward easily. This cocks on the close, so it kind of springs back on you, and then you got to shove that bolt, to close it.
back in.
Yeah, and it's a bitch. I mean, I know I'm not supposed to say that, but it's a pain in the butt. And I just was never really a big fan of that type of action. And anything that Sergeant York used, because I know the
stories abound. Was it the Springfield or was it the Enfield?
No, Gary Cooper.
The M17?
Gary Cooper used the Springfield 03, but in real life, Sergeant York used the M17. So if it's good enough for him, good enough for me.
And you want
also you get an extra bullet too.
Well, yeah, and who knows if he actually did the turkey gobble thing, but
Oh, he did.
Well,
I saw it in a movie, man. It's got to be true.
I can tell you what.
He also used in the great real life scenario where he used the model 1911. What did he use in the movie?
Oh, I think he used a Luger, didn't he? Yeah.
What a letdown.
And get this, the guy has the wherewithal. He's got German troops coming at him. He's got the wherewithal to shoot the back one to the front as they're coming up a hill at him, armed, ready to kill him.
Bayonets fixed.
Yeah, he shoots back to front so that they don't realize. I mean, this guy's got stones.
Go to cover and then finish him off. That's absolutely correct. Processing data under pressure.
Right. Holy cow. And this was a guy who was a conscientious objector.
Yeah.
So go figure. Anyway, Sean, we're coming up on a break. As always.
I'll put one point.
Go ahead.
In the movie, they showed a Luger. They used a Luger because they could use blanks on it, but in reality, he used a 1911.
That's
exactly.
Yeah. Sean, your calls are always fun and thought-provoking.
Appreciate you, Sean.
We appreciate it, and we'll talk to you later, okay?
Bless you, Sean.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, sir.
God
Take care.
Bless you, sir.
And I want to make sure we all understand. I think everybody was digging the 3030, the Model 94, yeah?
Oh, yeah. And that opens up a line. Quick.
866-870-5752. Again, 866-870-5752.
You're listening to Gunslingers right here on
the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
And we'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
Always like that. Oh, got to listen to all new ones.
.com.
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? Welcome back, everybody. Little Dino. First we had Tony Bennett, now we had Dino. That was my house growing up.
That was Bada Bings.
We weren't a Sinatra house. We were a Tony Bennett and Dean Martin.
Dino Martino, man.
We were Sergio Franchi and accordion music.
Oh man.
Well, that's
I think I wouldn't. Well, I was never at home anyway, but I think I definitely wouldn't have not been home, or doubly wouldn't have not been home.
I'll chase you out in one quick hurry.
You ain't kidding. You know what? Let's get to Bruce from Lakewood because he was at the auction.
Bruce,
how are you, Bruce?
Hi, guys. I just wanted to thank you for the auction this weekend. I was there with Brian, and we had a really good time.
Good.
I ended up getting what Brian called the belle of the ball.
Oh.
I kind of worried because after I decided I wanted to bid on this Colt Single Action Army nickel with natural material grips. Can't say what it really is, I guess. But then I saw it on Jeff's website, and I thought, oh, man, I'll never get that thing. and I got it, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Very good.
And
I love that.
Really happy. And I got a couple other items, too. I'm still waiting. We're still waiting for my dad was a B-17 pilot in World War II, 32 missions.
So was my dad.
Berlin.
15th or 8th Air Force.
He was 8th Air Force,
Flying out of England.
And then he became a Pathfinder, and they moved him over to the 305th, and two missions on D-Day. So I'm glad that you're having an auction on D-Day week and celebrating that. But I've been waiting for Jeff to have one of my dad had these little guns on the B-17. There were a couple sticking out the side, one out the top, and one out the bottom. I haven't seen them come across in the auction, though.
Little Ma Deuce action, yeah.
13 of them.
They're a little bit illegal.
Just a little.
Unfortunately. But
so I won't find one of those?
Not right now. Maybe one day when California comes back to its senses, but right now, no.
Yeah, well, maybe I'd get one of the non-operating ones.
We do come across those. We had that MG34 today.
Yeah, that was cool.
Had that today. That's a cool thing.
Yeah, he had several like that. But yeah, really enjoyed the weekend. Was out there from dusk to dawn, Saturday and Sunday.
Well,
and
good man, Bruce.
Appreciate all you guys and met Jimmy after the show there, and Jason helped me. Had a problem on one item. Jason helped me with that, and everything's all squared away.
Good.
Hey, Bruce, love seeing you and Brian. You guys are both gems. You guys are always so kind. You guys, I'm so glad that you guys won so much cool stuff.
Glad you got what you were hoping for, man. I love to hear that stuff. Jeff is kind of like the minister of happiness.
Oh, yeah, just ask my wife about that. Go ahead, Bruce.
I also wanted to thank you for having Leon on the show. I used to listen to Leon so many years ago on a different radio station. I guess I can't say which one.
Nah, what's the point?
But Leon's a gem, and we enjoy hearing him on the show, on your show too.
Good.
Yeah, we all did.
I love having Leon on. It's so much fun. It's just get to sit here with a legend. It's just
some of my favorite shows.
Yeah, it's just the very first time I did it. Remember, it was New Year's Eve, and both you guys had prior engagements, and I was like, oh man, I don't want to do it 2 hours by myself. And so I called Leon, and he came on. I went home, my face hurt from smiling. And I'm not kidding. All the way home, my face hurt from smiling the whole time. It was so neat.
He brings such good energy into a room, and so what you hear on the radio, believe me, it's genuine. It's real.
He's really everything that you hear. So many people, you see him and then you meet him, and you're so disappointed. When we finally got to meet Leon, it was everything and more.
Everything and more, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, hey, Bruce.
He's great.
Thanks, and we'll see you on pickup day.
Okay. Thank you.
Take care now.
Congratulations.
God bless you. Great seeing you.
Oh, nice to hear stuff like that. And so, guys, again, if you got gun collection and you're thinking about moving them, listen. I mean, proof's right here in the pudding. Give me a call or go to gunslingerauctions.com. Give me a call. I'm at the Orange Store all the time, 714-939-1172. We're almost full for September. So if you got stuff, you want to get it in soon.
Oh, yeah, because like you said, we are practically full for September. December's coming up just as fast. We're going to be blinking, and we're going to be talking about the September auction, and all of a sudden December is going to be creeping up right behind us, Christmas time. And that means that we're going to be preparing for 2026. Yeah. And I mean, we're halfway there, and we're going to be filling up, and who knows how many 2 days we're going to have then.
It just reminded myself, I want to say a special thanks to a lady, Gail, who called us up and asked me to come out and pick up her collection, and we did that Friday, I believe. Me and little Blake went out and picked it up, and Gail was just as nice as could be.
Oh.
She's getting ready to move up to with her daughter up to Seattle area, and it was just time to, husband was gone, and it was time to get rid of the stuff. She wanted to get it on its way, so we went and picked it up and made her very happy.
Well, three things. Number one, love to hear that. Number two, thanks for thinking of the Gunslinger. And number three, we hope you like rain.
Hey, you know what? We got a celebrity online too. You guys want to talk to him?
Of course.
How are you, Leon?
Hey.
I'm doing absolutely fantastic after all these great plugs. My head's so big. All that for all those niceties that you say about me. God, I miss you guys. I miss all my listeners. And I can't wait to be on your show, as you know.
Well, we mean every bit of it.
Absolutely.
That's the way we feel about it too, Leon.
How's everything going?
Well, everything's going fine. So far, I woke up this morning. It's a good day. And so I just keep plugging away. My son Lance, Motorboy, came over today, and we had a nice conversation. So we had a good time. We both missed radio, and I would still be on if the stations were doing. I'd look forward to being on your show, especially. You got a great, great program.
Thank you, sir. We love having you on.
And we learned it from the best.
And tell Lance I said hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably listening as well.
Oh, well, hey, Lance.
Hey, miss you too, Lance.
Yeah.
Well, all of us.
Yep. I tell you, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, you got to come out to the house. Hey, are any chance you're going to the Father's Day Roadster show out at Pomona next week?
Probably not. I'm going Father's Day. I'm going to my oldest son Jeff in Newport Beach, and with his family and some grandkids there. And I hate to turn them down.
Oh, of course.
They look forward to it. It's going to be a family deal, and so I look forward. Other than that, I would love to be there.
Well, interestingly, they've changed it this year. It's Friday and Saturday, and there is nothing on Sunday. So if you want to go, call me later on, and we'll set it up. I'll buy.
How cool is that?
You buy, take you up on it, man. I don't have a job.
Come on down. I'll be happy to go. We'll have a blast.
I look forward to it. I'm going to do my best.
Okay.
Promise.
All right,
I'll
Leon.
do my best.
I appreciate you calling in.
You have a great show. God bless you guys.
God bless you.
All my listeners.
Thank you,
I love
sir.
all of you.
Thank
love
you, sir.
You too.
Thanks for calling in, Leon.
We can't wait to have you on in just a few weeks.
Well,
it's going to be so great to have you
hopefully
back
I'll see you next weekend, and if not, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Thank you,
look
sir.
Look forward to it so much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Talk to you
Leon.
soon.
God bless.
Bye-bye.
Man, the coolest guy.
The one and only,
right?
Leon the Motorman.
We get. How cool is that? We get to talk to a legend regularly on our show, and he comes in and does the show with us.
Honestly, you know they say you should never meet your heroes. Leon, you should meet. You should meet Leon
as often as possible because he only gets better. I'm telling you.
A lot of fun.
And George is a blast too.
Yeah,
George is
Between
great.
the two of them, they have so much knowledge of the internal combustion engine. It's
I tell you.
stupefying.
I tell you. Everybody's been talking about D-Day. Of course, that was Friday.
June 6th. It was Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
The 81st anniversary.
And they've been playing the heck out of Band of Brothers.
Which they should. That's one of the best things that's ever been broadcast.
On television, right? And I've seen it 100 times. I own it on DVD, and we still taped every episode so we could watch it one every night, for 10 nights. And we've been watching that at home. But as soon as whenever I get home, it's been,
right.
I have not been able to walk, my 5 miles. I haven't in 2 weeks now because I don't get home till 6.
Well, because you're too busy walking the floor.
Yeah, I'm so busy at the shop doing stuff and oh man. Oh, and speaking of which, our friend Annie is she's on the mend. She's doing great. I talked to her today and yesterday. Gave both John and Annie a update on the auction. she's doing fantastic, still in a lot of pain. But John was taking her to the grocery store today.
Hey, God bless you both. And Annie, we pray that your healing
Fill up
just
on mango and
continues.
walnuts. Do it.
Love to hear it. That's wonderful.
So, yeah, he was taking her on a walk yesterday, and today they were going to the store. So she's on the
That's a
mend.
good sign.
Yeah, and so hopefully she's doing real well.
How wonderful. Love to hear it. Love to hear the healing.
Well, we got a couple of calls, but we're almost to the commercial break at the bottom of the hour. So Ed in Riverside, Oscar in Canyon Country. Oscar from Canyon Country was at the auction. We will get to you guys in just a couple of minutes. At the bottom of the hour, of course, is the long break, and so you don't get to hear our wonderful voices. What do you guys think of the new commercials with all three of us?
Yeah, do you dig it? Yeah, it's fun to hear us all, right?
Yeah,
cool.
My goodness, we sound articulate.
Well, except for me, I sound like an idiot. But what else is new?
It sounds like I have two tongues in my mouth. Come on.
I tell you. Anyway, there's the music. So we're going to fade out. But again, this is a live show, and we do take phone calls.
866-870-5752. Again, 866-870-5752.
You're listening to Gunslingers right here on
the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
And we'll be back with more phone calls right after this.
Yes, sir.
One more step. I can't remember.
When I heard about his.
The old G to E minor fall. Boom, boom, boom.
Just sounds sad.
Well, the minor chords always sound sad.
This is the ultimate sad.
Summer is all about making great memories.
Drove my Chevy to the levee is one of those things that. How come that wasn't used 12,000 times before he popped that off in the world of pop music?
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's Jody Messina's Bye-Bye, I'll Talk to You Later, got my lead foot down on the accelerator. Why didn't I think of that? Seriously, how did that elude me? It's the same thing, man. Ooh, what car will you be driving, Leon? I think Kirk, that's a good question. Leon, if you're still listening, lots of love for you, brother.
Every time Leon comes on, the internet blows up with
Yep, so much love.
The man, the myth, the legend. I'm so glad to hear that Annie is doing better. That's a fairly significant surgery. And both she and John are dear individuals.
I love them both. Both beautiful, beautiful people. Kirk on there, but everyone who ever listened to him considers him dad material.
Oh, yeah.
That is an excellent turn of phrase.
Absolutely.
The dad you wish you had.
I used to sit in my car in my baseball uniform waiting for the Sunday morning game to start, and I'd be sitting there
waiting it,
and just in my mind's eye see him sitting there in like overalls, with Leon on the thing, and the blue, mechanic overalls, and just and back in the day, back in the 80s and early 90s when I was still playing ball, he would get a lot more hot rod guys calling in, and now hot rod guys don't build their own cars. They just buy.
It's just so easy to buy crate engines and that sort of thing.
Well,
Sure.
How do you become a millionaire in
how do you make a small fortune in the auto business?
You start with a large one, yeah.
Who's making the 1,000 horsepower car right now? Corvette. The new Corvette has over 1,000 horsepower.
That's crazy.
We're talking like 2.4 0 to 60s. I mean, that hurts.
Yeah.
That will hurt.
I got in a 2024 Corvette customer. Maybe it was a 23. It was the second year of the new change.
The C9.
Or it could be 10. Anyway, and he was telling me how fast it was. And so he took me for a spin. And when he hit it, it threw my head back so far, it hurt my...
Like I said, it hurts me.
It hurt my brain, literally. Like, it was like, ow.
Concussion.
Yeah.
You can buy a car that fast. Lights, mufflers, mirror, warranty. I mean, that's insane. These are golden times. I can't wait for electric cars to get rid of that stuff, man.
Yeah, right.
I heard two good acronyms this week for boat and Jeep. boat. Bust out another 1,000.
Oh yeah,
That's good.
Jeep, just empty out every pocket. I was sitting there, I was like, I have to make sure I remember those to make sure everyone else gets it.
You know, I've had like 12 Jeeps, right? And every word you just said, flat on truth, man.
I've been real lucky. Well, I've had 3 boats now. 2 of them are pontoons, but my first pontoon, SS Ship Faced, never had an issue with it.
What was the engine?
It was
Was it an aquatic engine or was it a repurposed car engine?
No, it was aquatic. It was outboard.
That makes a big.
The answer.
I know when to go out. I know when to stay in. Get things done.
I catch a paper boy, but things don't really change. I'm standing in the rain, but I never wave bye-bye. But I try.
What a great song. Welcome back, everybody, to Gunslinger. I hate cutting off David Bowie's.
Music slingers.
Right? Welcome back, everybody, to Gunslingers right here on
the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
And we're running out of time, so if you want to call,
bring it on now. 866-870-5752. Again, 866-870-5752. Call in now.
Let's get to our friend Ed in Riverside. How are you, Ed?
I'm well, thank you. How about you all?
Hanging in there.
Well, Ed, good to hear from
you. Good. I was a little bit confused. You were talking about the LaBelle and the Remington Model 17, and one of those has the caulking that occurs on closing of the bolt.
No, he was talking about the British Enfield.
Yeah, the British.
Oh, that was
the British
Enfield.
303, the number 1 or the number 4. Yeah, that's what he was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, because I got those mixed up. And here's a gun question. What kind of good revolvers are there in 9mm?
Just a couple. I know that Kimber makes one.
Kimber
Is that on
makes
the
one.
roster?
Yeah, I don't think it's on the roster.
Smith has made one.
Smith has
What's
made
the nomenclature
a few of them.
on that?
It's a stainless gun, so it's a 6 something.
They're pretty cool,
but
you got to have like moon clips, or some such. And Ruger started making one of their LCRs.
Yeah, in 9, and there's not a whole lot of choice.
Here's the deal with that. To me, 9mm is a slightly hotter performer than 38 Special, right? Yeah. But one of the things about 9mm ammunition is because it has to be loaded within a fairly narrow parameter so that it can make everything from compact pistols to carbines to full-size carbines work. You have a real narrow window of performance, whereas if you do shoot it as a 38 or even a 357, you can, because you're the thing that makes the mechanism work, you can load from something that will stop, if it's a 357, something that'll stop an angry black bear, to something that Grandma could shoot after her Sunday morning lemonade social comfortably. You're taking that away.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and the biggest problem is because 9mm is an automatic.
Doesn't have a rim.
Yeah, there's no rim, so there's nothing for it to rest on. So they have to put these what are called either half moon or full moon clips, and these are little pancake dealies that you got to.
They snap into.
Yeah, and it's a pain in the butt. It's a pain to get them in.
Bigger pain.
Yes, and man, if you don't have the tool, forget about it because you're going to bend them all up. You're going to ruin your fingers. It's just a pain in the rear.
You'll quit out after about round 4.
Yeah, so I get a 38 if you're going to go that way, or a nice little
buy
auto.
Buy $500,000. Moon clips.
and 5 or 6 of those tools because they do break. All righty.
Okay. All right. Do you mind giving? I'm not very good at getting numbers. You gave the number of the orange store, and I got the 714. I didn't have something to write with, and then I mixed up the rest of them, and I don't have it.
Say when.
I'm ready.
714-939-1172. 1172.
1172. Okay, thank you.
Okie doke.
And that next auction,
September 13th.
13?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
You won't want to miss it. Real quick, Kirk makes a point
try
that
to be there.
Okay, we'll talk to you later. Go ahead.
Kirk makes the point that the Smith & Wesson has those little tiny spring fingers that catch the rims for the 9mm.
Yeah.
So now you've got some more mechanical gimcrackery, and it's
and you know
they're a
just,
bit fiddly.
Yeah, more parts to break. Let's get to Oscar in Canyon Country. Oscar, what can we do for you?
Evening, Oscar.
Hey, yeah, I'm one of the cheapskates that was there this week.
We know we love to see you.
I did say that a time or two.
Yeah. How'd you do, Oscar?
I think I did pretty good. I mean, now I got to buy ammo for 2 of the guns that I bought.
What'd you get?
You know, so I got the Glock 32 and a 357 SIG.
Okay,
And I got that, and I got the Harrington and Richardson Model 929 and the revolver at 22.
Okay.
And I got that Modern X-Cam Derringer in 38 Special.
Oh, okay. Well, it's all
And
mostly
then,
pretty easy to find.
Yeah, well, it's the 357 SIG and the 44 Magnum for the Henrys that I bought today, and the Silver Eagle I've got the ammo for.
Okay, yeah.
The Henrys in 22.
The Silver Eagle's a nice gun.
Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That sounds like fun stuff.
That 44.
Well, you know, Gunslinger Gun Shop in the city of Azusa, we have all that ammo.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure we have 357 SIG also.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah, so just stop on by and we'll get you squared away.
Hey, that's a great bear gun, by the way.
I know, you will. Now, the other, I actually have 2 questions on that Glock 32. So can I actually change out the barrel on that and shoot 40 Smith & Wesson in that?
Likely so, yeah.
Lone Wolf makes, other people do as well, but I know that Lone Wolf makes a conversion barrel for it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm sure you can.
Okay.
And it'll definitely handle the pressure.
Now, and the part B on that question, would I be able to put the 40 Smith & Wesson cartridges into
the 357
magazine?
mag? I'm not sure on that one. You know, at worst case, you'll probably get a couple. But I'm not sure that the
base diameter is the same, is it not?
It's pretty close.
I can only help with this much. I have done the 23 conversion to a 9mm, and I've had that work 100% flawlessly over several years. And dirty secret, once in a while I get mixed up and swap magazines, and even the darn magazines work interchangeably. I wouldn't trust it in a life and death situation, but I've made the mistake and had it work. So your experience may parallel that.
So there you go.
Gotcha.
All righty.
Okay. And one last question.
Go ahead.
What's the difference between a compensated and non-compensated gun?
Well, a compensator it's a little deal that goes on the end that is cut with slits to let the gas go out in different directions.
Glass,
So not all the gas is going out, causing more recoil. It just kind of kicks down the recoil effect.
Okay.
All righty.
All right, and I'm glad you're holding it in September so I can save up some money.
Start saving up some money.
Yes, sir. I agree.
Sorry, kids, no vacation this summer.
Yeah, we need a little vacation from doing auctions. We've already done 4 this year.
4 this year.
So, okay, Oscar, thanks again. We'll see you on pickup day.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, guys.
Take care now.
God bless you.
Another happy guy.
I love it. You know what was another thing about the auction? Because we don't just have just the rare. We get the off roster in our auctions. And to see some of the stuff come in and not everyone, especially in this great state of California.
That we can't have.
Everything that we can't have that actually does come up that you are able to get here. Not seeing everyone just jump out of their seats and just be like, yep, I want that because we should have that, and I want to make sure everyone knows that I do have it. But that was just kind of like throwing me off a bit, a little bit. We see so much that slips through the fingers of Californians, and then when we finally do get one, no one's really jumping on it. I know they may not be the most favorite of some of the Glocks that we had in there, but it's just good to see that there are ways that we can have some cool stuff.
We even had a Gap gun, a 45
45
Gap.
Gap? All right, tell me what that went for. Ballpark me.
I think it went for about $350.
That was today, right?
Which,
that was
to
about
be honest, considering good luck finding that ammo.
I was going to say, and did it come with thousands of rounds
It
of
came
ammunition?
with no
Yikes.
ammo.
Good luck finding that.
Yeah, that was an interesting purchase.
Brief and brilliant and gone.
GAP stands for Glock Automatic Pistol. Glock, for some reason, decided that they were going to make their own 45 because the 45 ACP that's been around since 1900 just wasn't enough.
Well,
they decided to try their own hand at it.
45, and hand is exactly the secret to that. The Grip Fray Glock 45 is quite large. It's a physically a large caliber, which is one of the things people like about it, right? So their plan was, with modern propellants, we can get 45 caliber performance and a big 45 caliber hole out of a smaller cartridge. And so they ran up some, and they got somebody to build some ammunition, and everybody in the world did not agree.
Profusely.
Yeah, we had that Model 37. It came with the laser sight and all.
Well, I mean, there's been so many different calibers over the years, and some of them work, and some of them just
did not need to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, that one was a swing and a big old miss. But hey, we got it sold. So again, guys, you got something that you want to sell, get it to us soon. I'm at the shop Tuesday through Saturday, and we're at 1740 West La Vida. If you've ever been in Orange, if you know where all the hospitals are on La Vida and Main, that's St. Joe's and Chalk, and we are just about 250 yards west of there on the same street. So we're right in between all the hospitals and the 57 freeway.
Yep, and you can see the big. There's not a big sign saying what we are, but you can see the big address.
You'll see this crazy blue building that looks like an old 7-Eleven that makes no sense whatsoever. That's us.
That's us. Is that a donut shop? Kind of.
Yeah. When Forrest comes by, you get donuts and pies and
sweet sweets.
everything under the sun. Well, we got our friend Brent from LA calling in, and Roy from Santa Monica. We'll get to you after this. We're coming up on a break. You're listening to Gunslingers right here on
the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
What song are we listening to here?
Oh,
little Ronnie and the Ronettes. All right, love this song. This was in Goodfellas too, by the way. All right, you're listening to Gunslingers right here on
the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
And we'll be right back.
I still remember my older sisters listening to this when I was a kid. That Leader of the Pack, I still remember that. Look at that knuckle. You think there's a lot of F chords in that knuckle?
It's a mother getting old, isn't it? I can't. You know what? I can hardly even play guitar without getting a huge cramp down here now. Yeah.
And yet we're doing so much better than so many people we know.
What's that?
We're doing so much better.
Very true. Yeah, we have small aches and pains.
Yeah.
.com. We really gotta just make this our last song.
Well, I'm not bragging, babe, so don't put me down. But I've got the fastest set of wheels in town. When something comes up to me, don't even try. Cause if they had a set of wings, man, I know she was fly. She's my little
Everybody dives for the baritone.
Welcome back, everybody, to Gunslingers right here on
the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
And yes, I do have a little deuce coupe. By the way, Annie sent us a text saying thanks so much for the nice words.
Again, reinforcing our opinion of it.
Always praying for you.
Let's get to our friend Brent in LA. How are you, Brent?
Shalom, Brent.
Shalom, you MAGA National Guard loving gunslinger.
What's going on?
Well, I want to bless and thank our righteous and courageous President Trump for sending the cavalry to Los Angeles to crush the California Communist Confederacy of cartel-funded Karen the Barbarian Bass and her government gangster Gavin. The Marxist media is lying to us. There is no such thing as a peaceful social justice protest.
No.
These are hardcore communist, fascist, social jihadi warriors trying to burn down our city and institutions for the devil's democracy.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
Throwing rocks and metal poles at police officers, burning cars in the street, but that's peaceful.
Yeah, and 90% of these guys are getting paid by somebody.
Yeah, but finally, for once, President Trump will stand up to them, unlike Castro Karen and our police chief and totally corrupt city council and supervisors. So I had a gun question concerning this.
Okay.
What is the best firearm for the feds to fight the new Democrat Confederacy in Los Angeles?
Well, I mean, it depends on what you want to do. If you want to put them down permanently, I could give you lots of ideas. The rubber bullets thing is out there. You got, the bean bags. Those things are a bear. And, you can't buy, as a civilian, you cannot buy this stuff. So, there's a reason for it because they are pretty potent. The tear gas appeared to be working quite well, getting them off the freeway and
disperse them,
and up that off-ramp. I saw that earlier just before I left the house today. So... that's kind of a loaded question, get it?
I see what you did there. I'm a taser man myself.
Tasers are good, but the problem with a taser is it's very close up.
Yeah, it's close up, and even if there is
crowds,
even if it's exactly, because they're kind of one-on-one there.
How about a fire hose? Still effective?
What's that?
But I kind of think the biggest problem is just the will and the desire to put it down.
Absolutely.
I love that Trump is coming in. It is just magnificent. And I hope that Steve Hilton and Chad Bianco will jump on board with this and cheer him on.
Chad already has.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Chad has been running all day on his Facebook page the riot, and he's been commenting. And we're going to try and get him on again real soon.
Absolutely, yeah. Because
I haven't seen that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And what a great... they're doing it for him. They're running his ads for him, aren't they, as you watch L.A. burn?
Don't you want it to change? Look at the change.
Yeah, as these other whine about Trump. Give me a break. All right, Brent, as always, thanks for the call.
Thank you, Brent.
See ya.
We'll talk to you
bless
later.
you. Be
Bye-bye.
safe.
All right, let's jump over to Roy in Santa Monica who wants to talk about rubber bullets. Roy, what can we do for you?
Roy, evening.
Hey, guys, how you doing? Thanks so much for the show tonight.
Oh, of course.
Speaking of bean bags, I was going to ask you, I remember years ago at shops throughout L.A., there was the handheld one that you could get. It was in the 70s, and they finally outlawed the one. It was using the Steve McQueen movie, The Hunter.
I remember that. Yeah,
and they didn't for a long time, but I can't think of the name of it. Do you guys recall what that was? It was
beanbag gun. I do remember that thing.
But it was about a 12 or 15 foot potency, and after that it didn't. And then it was like the last one they let go out of the sales. I think that because the other, the more tactical ones that are used now were more potent at a distance, but that thing was like a 10-foot range, and so they let it be, and then it kind of went away. And I was trying to remember what the name of that was.
I don't remember, but I do remember seeing it. It always reminded me of that Whammo toy. You remember that thing?
Right.
You kind of pump it and it poofed, and it made that big blast. Oh, man, I always wanted one of those, and it would knock little army soldiers over. So, that's
the Whammo gun.
That brings back some memories. Go ahead.
It brings back memories. I was hoping that somebody like Bianco or somebody will reinstate the fact that for all, since you got to drive in L.A. in this madness, you look on the TV right now, that maybe we should have that some kind of a CCW with one of those. So it's okay. We won't have any lethal, but we'll have some knock guys down on the sidewalk and let them just cough for a while.
Yeah,
because it's fascinating. How all this is going to not erupt into even worse with the fact that it's being brought in by those paid.
Yeah,
paid
and
agents to bring
emboldened
them in.
by the lack of response.
It is indeed.
And just a civilian version of the weapon used in the 1970s, the Prowler Fowler, is what I'm bringing up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Prowler.
That's what it was. Prowler Fowler.
Well,
I think it was.
Made by Whammo.
Whammo!
A subsidiary
Inventors of law.
All right, Roy.
I had a little bit of joviality here, but keep the fires burning and keep safe on the way home.
Thank you, sir.
Amen.
Take
Thanks
care now.
so much.
The Whammo Blammo. Find that.
Blammo!
I'll bet you could find a commercial for it. Still,
You
too, 'cause
got
I
to.
remember it clearly.
Right? Yeah, it had that little thing that would hang and you'd poof and it would blow up. And, oh, man. Commercials were great back then. And that was in black and white. I remember that so vividly.
Don't forget
Whammo
your
Air
Fanner
Blaster.
50.
That was it, the Air Blaster.
Air Blaster.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That thing was so cool. I never got to have one. The only cool toy I ever remember having as a kid, I had an Elliott Ness Tommy gun.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and you'd pull back on it and pull the trigger.
I had the black commando version of that.
Oh, my next door neighbor Richard, he had you remember the suitcase? It was the I Spy suitcase.
Oh man, yes.
And the handle came out as a little gun. And you could press a button and a fake knife would come out the front. And it had caps, and so if you open it and you didn't have the right condom, it would explode on you. It was a cap, of course. A big bomb, but oh man, that thing was
living large,
so
man.
cool. Yeah, I never had any of that stuff. We were poor.
We made so were we. We were so poor. How poor were you?
Hey, I tell you, I was so poor.
We couldn't afford to pay attention.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we were so poor we couldn't afford to spend time.
Classics.
I lived in a house that was small.
How small?
We had to go outside to change our mind. No, we made our own skateboards.
Yeah.
And you haven't lived until you've taken a 2x4. So we're talking a 2x4. Taken one of the old metal wheeled skates.
Been there, done that.
Pounded the front wings flat and then nailed them in.
Yep.
Nailed.
I did that.
Death car, how are you still alive?
Safety first.
Because those steel wheels, anything.
If there was a grain of sand, if there was a spore from a fern on that sidewalk, you were face
launched.
planted.
Yeah.
The sidewalk alone.
And you remember when they came along with the clay wheels? Oh, this is the thing.
The
clay
future's
so
here.
You no longer, crashed you skidded into everything. It would leave these large skid marks.
Absolutely true.
So dangerous. And lawn darts. You remember lawn darts?
No,
Come on, bring
last
them
very
back.
long.
I think kids need them.
How did we live through this? Well, it was called a selection of the fittest, right?
Survival of the fittest.
I think the Army got their idea from flechettes, from kids playing lawn darts. Hey, if you took those up to 10,000 feet.
Yeah, and put a little bomb in them.
Come on.
Oh, man.
Good times.
Yeah, good
safe
times. So
great oldies.
Importantly,
Good times, great oldies.
you got through another auction. 2
Yeah.
days. Obviously, those of you that are listening, you can hear the people that called in or the people that posted on the social media how happy they were with the event. The next one is on September
13th.
The 13th. And I know that sounds like, we laugh about this.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's forever from now.
Yeah, but it'll be here before you can say howdy doody.
Right?
And that means,
or Clarabelle.
And that means that the catalog is going to be up mid-August, so you guys can keep an eye out for that. And again, we are filling up for this one already. We're almost over top, so get them in now, or get them ready for December, or get them ready for 2026. Folks.
Yep. So get your stuff in soon. You've been thinking about it, or somebody's passed away. You don't know what to do with them. This is where we come in, folks. We'll come out to you. We'll take care of everything. Do it all legal and above board. I can't tell you how often I get out to somebody's house and they say, "Well, my down the street neighbor, I'm going to sell him this one." It's like, well, no, you have to do this through it. No, he said, he did. And
you can get in trouble.
You can get in big trouble. So,
you guys make it so easy.
I can't tell you how often I drive by people having yard sales and they've got, boxes of 45 or 22. It's like, you can't do that in California anymore. It's not my place to go up and correct them. So
part
I just
of it's
keep going,
elections having consequences. But again, if you do it through Jeff, if you do it through the Gunslinger, it's safe. It's easy, and importantly, It's legal.
Yeah.
And then people give you money.
And above board, you get to see the whole thing.
And again, this is for everyone wins in the situation. Our sellers are super happy. Our buyers super happy. Everyone is a winner at these auctions. If you either are a consigner or you're one of our bidders, everyone's coming out ahead.
Yep. So it's just a lot of fun, and make sure you get to our next auction.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and let's see. Next week, I'm going to be Saturday. I'm going to go out to the Pomona Father's Day Roadster Show.
Oh, yeah.
And then Sunday, I'm going to be at the Highway 39 Father's Day Cars Show.
Prime rib and pistons, baby.
I tell you,
I think it's called Piston and Brunch.
Okay, I'll be out
like
there in
mine
my 65 Malibu convertible.
That's a good looking scooter.
Man, I love that car.
How far away is the Mustang? Those pictures
a
you were
ways.
flying, those are gorgeous. That's a gorgeous looking car.
It's gonna be. It's a ways. We got motor, tranny, and rear end. Front end is being. We got Mustang 2 front end, so it's going in, but it's going to be a while. It needs project. A lot. It's a lot of parts. There's the old music on the wall.
Man, oh man. Hey, thanks to all of you that played along on our social media. Thanks to all of you that called in, and thanks to all of you that listen.
Yep. We'll be back next week. We will be here on Father's Day.
Oh, yeah.
And don't forget to smile. It's just little curves. That's a lot of things straight. Thank you, Leon, for calling in.
Guys.
And we'll see you guys next week on Father's Day.
Whoa,
goodbye,
love you. Bye.
Goodbye.
Till we meet again. Happy trails to you till we meet again.
This program was sponsored